Let's be honest, you're crushing it. You're getting promotions, your projects are flawless, and everyone says you're doing an amazing job. On paper, your life looks perfect. Your career is on a rocket ship, your home is organized, and you never, ever miss a deadline. You're the person everyone else leans on. So why does logging off for the day feel like stepping into a void? Why does praise feel so hollow? And why does every smile feel like you have to manually activate it? That feeling isn't just stress. It could be high-functioning burnout, and its signs are masters of disguise. For high achievers, burnout doesn't always look like a dramatic flameout. It's often a quiet, creeping exhaustion that hides behind a mask of peak productivity. If this is hitting a little too close to home, you're not alone, and it's definitely not a personal failure. It's your body and brain's response to being chronically overdrawn on your energy account. In this video, we're going to uncover the 15 hidden signs that prove everything is not as perfect as it seems. The hidden emotional signs. Sign 1. A deepening sense of cynicism and detachment. First up, a creeping sense of cynicism. You used to see the purpose in your work, but now you feel weirdly detached and negative about it. You might catch yourself mocking the company mission under your breath, or feeling completely disconnected from a project's success. This isn't you becoming a negative person. It's your mind putting up an emotional firewall. Burnout is notorious for eroding your connection to your work, leaving a sense of depersonalization in its wake. To fight this, find one small, tangible part of your work you can reconnect with. Focus on a single task, not the overwhelming big picture. Sign 2. Emotional numbness. You land a huge client, you finish a massive project, you get a glowing review, and you feel nothing. Zero. This emotional flatline is a classic sign of high-functioning burnout. You're still performing at a high level, but the emotional reward is just gone. It feels like you're watching your own life from a distance. This numbness is your brain's way of conserving energy after being overdrawn for way too long. Acknowledging this isn't a weakness. Try journaling for just 5 minutes a day to get what's in your head onto paper. It can help you start to identify and reconnect with those muted feelings. Sign 3. Constant irritability and frustration. Do you find yourself snapping at a loved one over a simple question? Or feeling a surge of rage because the Wi-Fi is slow? This heightened irritability is a huge, but often overlooked sign. When your nervous system is overloaded from chronic stress, your fuse for handling even minor hiccups gets incredibly short. It's not that you've become an angry person. It's that your emotional reserves are completely bankrupt. The smallest annoyance can feel like a catastrophe. The first step is simply to notice it without judging yourself. A simple breathing exercise, like box breathing, can help hit the reset button on your nervous system in those moments. Sign 4. Loss of motivation for things you once enjoyed. Remember that hobby you used to love? The one that was your escape? Now, it feels like just another chore on your to-do list. This loss of interest, especially for things outside of work, is a subtle sign that burnout is bleeding into your personal life. When you spend all your energy just surviving the work week, there's nothing left in the tank for the things that once brought you joy. You're not lazy, you're exhausted. Instead of forcing it, try a microdose of that activity. Don't commit to a 5K run. Just put on your shoes and walk to the end of the block. Give yourself permission to do the smallest possible version. Sign 5. Pervasive self-doubt. Despite a mountain of evidence that you're competent, you're haunted by a nagging feeling of inadequacy. This is often called imposter syndrome, and it goes into overdrive during burnout. You might look at your wins and think, total fluke, or any minute now they're going to find out I have no idea what I'm doing. High achievers are especially vulnerable because they often link their self-worth directly to their performance. When you're burnt out, even your successes can feel fraudulent. Remind yourself that feelings aren't facts. Keep a hype file of compliments or positive feedback. When self-doubt kicks in, read it as a reminder of your actual proven competence. The subtle physical manifestations sign. 6. Chronic fatigue. That sleep doesn't fix. This isn't just feeling tired. This is a bone-deep weariness that 8 hours of sleep can't even touch. You wake up feeling just as drained, if not more so, than when you went to bed. This is a classic physical symptom of burnout. Your body is stuck in a state of high alert, and your stress hormones are working overtime, preventing you from getting truly restorative rest. This isn't laziness, it's physiological exhaustion. Instead of pushing harder, schedule short, non-negotiable breaks throughout your day, even just 5 minutes away from your screen, to give your system a chance to downshift. Sign 7. Unexplained physical pains. Are you suddenly plagued by tension headaches, a constantly upset stomach, or random muscle aches? Your body keeps the score when you're mentally and emotionally overloaded. Chronic stress can show up as real, physical inflammation and pain. These symptoms are not all in your head. They are distress signals from your body that your internal battery is flashing red. Instead of just popping a painkiller, see it as a message. Are you clenching your jaw right now? Are your shoulders best friends with your ears? Take a second to consciously relax those muscles. Sign 8. Getting sick more often. Do you feel like you're catching every single bug that goes around? Like you're in a constant state of almost but not quite getting sick? Prolonged stress weakens your immune system, making you way more susceptible to illnesses. If you're using all your energy to perform at a high level, your body has fewer resources left to fight off germs. This is a very real biological consequence of burnout. Prioritizing your health isn't a luxury, it's a critical part of recovery. Make sure you're drinking water and eating something with nutritional value, even when you feel too busy. The behavioral red flags. Sign 9. Procrastinating on simple tasks. You can tackle a massively complex project with laser focus, but responding to a simple 2-sentence email feels like climbing Mount Everest. This is a confusing but classic sign of high-functioning burnout. Your brain is drowning in decision fatigue. After making high-stakes choices all day, your brain has no juice left for the small stuff. It's not about how hard the task is, it's about your depleted capacity. Try the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately without overthinking it. This can help break the procrastination cycle on those small but draining items. Sign 10. Your social battery. Drains instantly. You used to enjoy grabbing lunch with colleagues or seeing friends after work, but now the very thought of social interaction is exhausting. You might find yourself dodging team events or canceling plans at the last minute. This social withdrawal is a way of hoarding your dwindling energy. When you're burned out, every conversation can feel like a performance you don't have the script for. Be honest with friends you trust. A simple, "I'm feeling really drained lately and don't have the energy to go out, but I'd love to connect when I'm feeling more like myself," is much better than just ghosting them. Sign 11. Sunday night dread becomes all-consuming. A little case of the Sunday scaries is normal, but for someone on the edge of burnout, it's a tidal wave of dread. It might even start creeping in on Saturday, casting a shadow over your entire weekend. You're not just thinking about your to-do list, you're mentally bracing for another week of feeling depleted and overwhelmed. This is a sign that your work life is creating a massive stress response that your time off can no longer fix. Reclaim your Sunday evenings with a non-work ritual, something you actually look forward to, like watching a specific movie, taking a relaxing bath, or getting lost in a good book. Sign 12. A growing sense of inefficacy. This is the soul-crushing feeling that nothing you do actually matters. Despite working incredibly hard, you feel like your contributions are just a drop in an indifferent ocean. This is the third pillar in the clinical definition of burnout. It's a profound sense of, what's the point, that sucks the last bit of passion out of your work. This isn't a reflection of your actual impact, but a distortion created by emotional exhaustion. Try to reconnect with your why on a micro scale. Find one person you helped or one positive outcome you created, and focus on that specific, tangible impact. Sign 13. Increased carelessness and simple mistakes. As a high achiever, you pride yourself on your attention to detail. But lately, you're making uncharacteristic errors, forgetting to attach a file, noticing typos after you hit send, or missing a key detail in a report. This isn't because you've stopped caring. It's a sign of cognitive overload. Your brain's executive functions, like focus and attention, are among the first casualties of burnout. Instead of beating yourself up, see it as a red flag that you need to slow down. Double-check your work, sure, but more importantly, build in short breaks to let your brain actually rest and reset. Sign 14. You're chronically under-challenged or rusting out. While we often link burnout to being overworked, it can also happen when you're chronically under-challenged, a state sometimes called rust out. If you're a high performer stuck in a role with boring, repetitive tasks that don't use your skills, you can experience a similar sense of cynicism, frustration, and disengagement. Research shows this type of soul-crushing boredom can lead to the same stress responses as overwork. If you feel like your talents are being wasted, it might be time to talk with your manager about finding more stimulating projects. Sign 15. Your ambition feels more like a trap. Your ambition used to be your superpower. Now it feels like a cage you built for yourself. You feel trapped by the sky-high expectations you've set and the steer-perfect image you have to maintain. High achievers often learn to tie their self-worth to what they achieve, which works great, until it doesn't. When you're burnt out, that ambition becomes a source of immense pressure, not passion. The desire to escape your own success is a powerful final sign that something is fundamentally wrong. Recovery starts with self-compassion and slowly, gently untangling who you are from what you do. If you recognized yourself in several of these signs, just take a deep breath. You are not broken, you are not failing, and you are definitely not alone. High-functioning burnout is a quiet epidemic, especially among the most capable and driven people. The very strengths that got you here, your dedication, your resilience, your high standards, are the same things that can make you vulnerable. But here's the good news. Burnout is not a life sentence. You can recover. It's not about quitting your job tomorrow or ditching your goals. It starts with small, deliberate steps, setting one tiny boundary, scheduling one real break, or having one honest conversation with someone you trust. It is about reevaluating what success really means to you and learning to treat yourself with the same kindness you'd offer to a friend. Your well-being is not a liability. It is the most valuable asset you have. Recognizing these hidden signs is the first, most powerful step toward reclaiming your energy, your joy, and yourself.